Yo, welcome to Crate 808, the podcast that's Brick City, gritty committee that pities the fools that act shitty. Yes, this is our... I know, sorry, I see James there not enjoying that intro.
I enjoyed it, I liked it.
Oh, did you? That looked like a look of disdain on Zoom. But yeah, we've got James Midwinter, Raymond Ridge. For the YouTube viewers out there, you'll see that Ray's sporting some very nice attire. It is our 100th episode today.
100th episode.
He's actually got prop. He loves props. He loves props, Raiders.
I got to fucking clear that up later, but anyway.
Enjoying the Simon Says boat there as well. Thank you. Yes, 100 episodes, guys. Fucking hell, how does that feel? How's that feel, lads?
It's pretty amazing, mate. It's an incredible achievement.
It is pretty mad.
Yeah,
it's pretty mad.
Yeah, no, it is crazy that it's got to. It seems like it's very quickly got to 100 episodes.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
we've been diligently working. We've been putting out content on a regular basis. And keep smashing it. So
regular as possible. Cheers. Yes.
I haven't got a drink. To us. I know it's 9 a.m. there, but whatever.
It's 9 a.m. so I haven't got a drink. But yes, cheers. So
cheers,
everyone,
guys. It makes me wonder what Joe Rogan's 100th episode was like.
It does. Yeah.
Because you are the Joe Rogan of UK-based
enabler for right. Yeah. I was waiting.
Yeah.
This is
you so enable that right wingers.
That means this is really bad, isn't
it? Well, yes. I don't know where we're at on the trajectory. All I know is we've got a wicked following. All the fans, big up, man. YouTube, go on, subscribe, like, and everything. New people, but yeah, it's been really nice just having everyone. Just the love has been real, and I thought for today. Well, we thought for today, what can we do? 100 episodes. Should we get RZA? Should we get Dre? Should we get Eminem? No. What we're going to do, right? We're going to do what Ray Ridge, right, originated. This originated as an
originator.
There's the merch. We were going to do just 8 episodes of album debates. So for people who haven't heard them, the album debates are in the vaults. Go check them. But we thought we're just going to do 8 of these, and that's it. And in the debates, Ray stumbled upon, or maybe formulated, it felt stumbled upon, Ray.
Pure genius.
It felt stumbled
Pure
upon.
Genius is what it was.
100
prophetic.
Every time we talk about an album, Ray would be like, "Oh, this song deserves to be on a playlist or a list," which is he thought up. If an alien came to this Earth,
planet Earth,
there we go,
and you had to explain, to an alien. An alien was at this curiosity of like, "Where's that beat coming from?" And they're like, "What is hip hop?" And you were like, "What? You don't know what hip hop is?"
Yeah.
In that case, you'd be like, "Look." And the alien was like, "Look, I've only got time for 100 tracks. I need 100 tracks to define what hip hop is." That's what this is. Who
90s hip hop. 90s hip hop, not just all hip hop.
90s hip hop.
Yeah.
But who knows what an alien's experience of time is? So maybe that is why it could only be 100 tracks.
I don't know why it's 100. I don't know why it's 100 because they'd technically be better than us at science, technology, everything. So I assume they might be able to download 100 in literally a second or a millisecond they could probably get millions.
They probably got their own hip hop.
How this scenario started was they came to me. They said, "Ray, we want you to define what is hip hop," and we've expanded it to you guys as well.
Yes. So. Okay. Well, there you go. So what we're going to do, this is going to really tag on to our Patreon as well. So these will become Patreon episodes. Crate808.com. Sign up to the newsletter if you want to get involved. That's dropping sometime in 2021. But what we're going to do, we've got the list. Ray's kept this list, this 100 songs list, right? It's just massive caveat. It's ludicrous. Right, it's pretty crazy.
Ludacris is on it.
There's no Ludacris on it.
There's one track that should be, yes.
There's spaces.
We're going to go through this list, right, and as concisely as possible, we're going to talk about which tracks we think should and shouldn't be on there briefly. But I'm going to bring 5.
What's your fantasy?
No, it's not.
That's it, yeah.
Ooh. He said yes and he said no.
Southern Hospitality is the ludicrous song you played to Alien.
That's later.
But that's the one that came out to, wasn't it?
Oh, is that not 99? Is that 2000?
Yeah, right.
Well then maybe it is what's your favorite. Okay, maybe it is. Okay, fair enough. Already undercut, hamstrung by my own
That video
was
ridiculous. Wasn't that video like a window into just light? A light.
A life, yes.
A life.
A life. So we're going to go through these. I'm bringing 5 I feel should be on. James is bringing 5. And we're going to go through that. But before we do, man, we keep asking for mailbag, crate8away@gmail.com. People have been emailing, tweeting, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. We've got some goals, right? We're going to go through a bit of this now. So we're going to hit up the mailbag.
Whoa. You first have to tell me what the least hip-hop thing you've done.
It's 100th episode, and I forgot. That's unbelievable. Look, slipping. Made 100 and slipping. Lads, what is the least hip-hop things you've done in the last 24 hours? Ray, what have you got, mate?
What I've got is, it almost sounds a little bit concerning, actually, but I've actually been fitted, well, I'm not wearing it now, but you know what a Holter monitor is? Mm-mm. It's like an EKG. You know when you go to hospital and they're like, oh shit, is your heart beating correctly, and they stick all these things all over you. Mm-hmm. So it's it's a take-home version of that, because basically I've been having like heart palpitations kind of thing.
That is concerning.
Basically, yeah. So I've got an appointment tomorrow to see, if I'm going to die or not. But basically,
wow.
I'm suddenly rethinking all the mean things I was about to say to Ray in this podcast. It's going to be really nice from now on.
I've already diagnosed what it is. Anyway, basically, my heart is beating extra because I've been listening to a lot of fucking Alchemist and Nicholas Craven fucking beats with no fucking drums, and even my heart, it's just like, no, you need more. So it's compensating for it. That's the only thing.
Or they're that good, they're heartbreaking and breaking your heart. Maybe, because let me be honest, Nicholas Craven's samples are heartbreaking at times and beautiful.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. There's no fucking drums over it. I was listening to crime scenes today of Ransom. I was like, you know what? Let's just give this a second. It just needs fucking heavy beats. I need the Havoc remix of all of these. That's what I need.
Okay, I'm actually here for that. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, Ray, I hope that your heart isn't dead, and
the least hip hop thing is that I'm dying slowly.
Yeah,
it's least hip hop that you're looking after your health.
Although that is now not true, because like as we all know and we've talked about before, Big Noid loves like soup and shakes, and Style P's got healthy shakes and smoothies and shit. So I don't know, maybe.
And he is the definition of hip hop, Big Noid.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. James, least hip hop thing you've done, my friend?
Yesterday, I transferred some small seedlings that I'd got in a propagator tray into small pots and watered them. I'm doing indoor gardening, that kind of thing. Yeah.
How lovely.
Yeah, that's really not hip hop. That's the least hip hop thing I could think of.
Horticulture. What's that mean? I don't know what that means, but it
just
feels
the word
like
seedling. Just the word seedling. It's not hip hop, is it?
Hey, have any rappers used the word horticulture in their verses? ASAP Rock's got it, right?
Even seedling.
Or seed. I bet Riz has dropped a seedling verse somewhere in there. Somewhere.
Never.
I'm not going to do my Riz. Okay,
might look it up.
There you go, listeners. Let us know. But my least hip hop thing. So yeah, it isn't the least hip hop, but it is what happened recently, and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was doing one of the more hip hop things, which is watching Snowfall, and I'm nearing the end, so I'm like, ready to like finish this up. It's getting quite good, and then an ant just walked past in the living room and realised I had a fucking ant problem in the living room, so I had to stop doing my hip hop thing and start laying down some powder and some smackdown on these fucking ants. So yeah,
don't kill them.
Well, there was only one. And I thought, for the greater good, knowing what Snowfall is.
That's not an
one
problem.
is how it starts, mate. And then they start all coming down, having a party, mate, in the living room. Fuck that.
In terms of Snowfall, I remember watching that when the first season came out and thinking, that was all right. And then you just said, oh, I'm on the last season. It's getting quite good.
No, do you know
it's not making me want to watch it.
No. I think it's around the third season it gets fucking really good. It gets really
I can't
good.
Be waiting that long.
I know, but they're shorter episodes at 40 minutes, and on iPlayer it's really easy to watch. So yeah.
You mentioned it on Monday, and then this week basically I've had a job interview, so I've been supposed to be preparing for that. And I've just smashed out the whole first season. Every episode, I'm just like,
mate, how good is
just one more episode?
How good is Unk? Unk is like the Ice Cube version here. That Jerry Curl, he's so fucking hench. Yeah. I love it. I think the characters are what sells it. The character is great. Anyway, this isn't a Snowfall review. I did that. But that reminds, just remembered.
On the Patreon, Snowfall review coming right up.
More and more content. I saw one of the most hip-hop, grimy gutter things I've seen in a long time, especially with lockdown. As we all know, in the UK, lockdowns ease a little bit. I was in Derby City Centre, and the missus wanted to go to Primark, and it was not. And I checked my watch. It was 9:01 a.m. No queue, nothing. She went straight in. I walked in after her. It took me about 20 seconds, and I realised, what am I doing? Why am I in Primark? I'm going to wait for you outside. And in about 30 seconds, I checked, when on the way out, bang, there's a guy who's been knocked out in Derby City Centre in front of Primark at 9:01 a.m. 9:01 a.m. The police come through on some rah-rah. There's fucking growing. It's just kicking. And I was like, what is going on? This is one of the most hip-hop things.
And they say the north of England has no culture.
Do they?
Hey, BPM Records, big up. I went in there afterwards, and I really enjoyed. I enjoy the culture in Derby. It's great. Everyone's lovely as well. Anyway, hip-hop things. There you go.
No, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, it doesn't, mate. Really doesn't. So we're going to go to the mailbag. We're going to touch into this mailbag, right? So regular listeners know we have got certain things we ask. Some of them we're going to go through now, and I will summary them, and they'll be in the summary in the pod episode notes and everything as well.
Or summarise. It's fine.
Oh, summary, you know what I mean? You say summarise, I say summary. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to kick off, right?
Is it summary there?
It is. It's really nice. It's really nice, Ray. Anything to make this longer. Anything to make this longer. So we've got strangest dreams you've had about rappers, right? So there's a few here that I've really, really enjoyed. And this one here from Ninja Rose, right? Big up. He sent this in a while ago, and I found the email. It was in my spam somewhere, but I'm glad I did, right? So he had a dream, right? I'm going to summarise this because he made it a really interesting story. But he was on a slide that was shaped like a giant boat, right? And I was at the window of this a giant boot, and he was a 36-year-old man and not a 10-year-old kid. And he's a 36-year-old man, and he sees Conway the Machine standing below him, and Conway's like, yo, jump, I'll catch you. I'll catch you, right? And he was too scared, and he didn't know if he ever caught him or not, because he got woken up at 3 a.m. Someone called him at 3 a.m. I would like to know, what do you think? Would Conway the Machine catch you if you were like on top of a giant boot? What is this podcast? What is this podcast? I've just realised at the end of that sentence. What is this podcast?
We got to 99 and we should just stop there, shouldn't we?
No, but I enjoyed the story. Ninja Rose has a very vivid memory of this, and I feel
so Conway's like a father figure to him. That's kind of what he's... Yes. That's a really bad father figure, Ninja Rose.
Well, you don't know. Because what if Con is like, I got you, son. Like, no matter what you need, I got you. And I feel that's what he is. If you're on the right side with Conway, I reckon he'd die for you. And catch you from a slide.
As soon as he caught you, he'd be like, you owe me now. And he'd give you a brick, put you out on the streets. You'd be having slang rock for him.
Franklin saying the shit out of this. Yes.
He's got you then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
maybe.
I can really picture it happening though. That moment where he's saying like, motherfucker, you jumping or what? Or I can imagine him being that like.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I know. I think he also said, because obviously Conway's got a bit of a disability in his eye, he said that in the dream he turned round so he couldn't actually see, and he thought, this is even worse, he's definitely not going to catch me now because he can't see me. But yeah, that's just... Yeah,
very ableist. Very ableist, Ninja Rose.
Yes, I know, sorry. So, next one we've got, and this one I just enjoyed because of the imagery. Go on.
What kind of mate have you got that's calling you at 3 a.m? I want to know, was that an emergency? Was that a serious conversation? So like, yeah, what are you up to?
This is true.
I'm sleeping. I'm dreaming about Conway the Sheep. What are you doing?
This is
Stop
true.
calling me.
This is true. I've got another one here from Koaste, and Koaste said, and this is just great imagery. He had a Heart of Darkness style dream once, and he had to track down Erick Sermon, who was living somewhere in the jungle. And I felt like, do you know what? Who could play Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now in a hip-hop version?
Not Erick Sermon.
No. Erick Sermon has the visual aesthetic of that Marlon Brando. Imagine in the dark. I'm talking EPMD Sermon, with the fisherman hat, and he's there with the fisherman hat, and he's like,
But do you remember the Erick Sermon episode? Obviously,
I do.
Crate 808, Erick Sermon's been on, and that was an enjoyable episode. But on it, he's taking credit for everything, and he's so excited. So like, I thought of that. No, I thought of that. Yeah, I thought of that. I had that first. I had them first, and then I did. They sampled it, and Primo sampled my beat, and I told him afterwards I knew it was you. I did.
That is a great episode.
But the thing is, he's like, it's true as well. Like, it's not like he's just bragging for the sake of it.
No,
he's just saying, no, I did do that. I did do that. It is my beat. They did sample my beat.
It is, yes. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. I don't know what you guys thought of that. I didn't really have a question on it. I just thought, wow, yeah, I can see it. I can see that. So hip hop version of what's his name again? Captain what? Can't remember his name. But yes.
Colonel Kurtz. If you're doing a hip hop version of any film and you need a heavy set man with gravitas who would fit in, it's Forrest Whitaker every time.
Yes,
you get Forrest in.
Yeah, true. But I was thinking rappers, actual rappers and producers.
As we discovered with Belly last week, you don't get rappers into act. You just don't.
Well, there you go.
Rick Ross could do it. His whole career's been an act anyway, isn't it? So
it's quite good.
There we go.
Fuck you, Rick Ross.
True though. But yeah. Okay, all right, there we go.
Cheers.
Another one we had, and you know what? Big up, Erick Sermon was on the Redman Method Man Verzuz. We were supposed to do a recap of that, and it's just not happened. But Erick Sermon, seeing Erick and Parrish and Keith Murray, and fucking amazing. K Solo was on there. It was amazing.
I'll always love Erick Sermon just for the fact that he co-produced Reservoir Dogs, the second best posse cut of all time.
We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking on that. It's coming, that one. Another one we had then, going on the verses, we talked about Inspectah Deck and who he could go against in a verses. And the cool thing about this is that we have all these, I think we had Corrupt, we had Canibus, which were good shouts. I don't know what you guys thought of the same shouts. But
I like the Canibus idea.
Right, the Canibus idea was good, right? And then I thought what was interesting was the Canibus idea was good, but we had a lot of memes and a lot of reviews on that. Gary Bacon said, use the old Peep Show meme, 20 Canibus tracks, Jeremy. 20? That's insane. Which made me laugh. It's true.
I'm thinking of bringing Can I Bus, his debut album, to the pod. I had a listen through it the other day, and you go for the first track, you're like, it's not too bad, and it's fucking awful. I don't know whether I can bring it.
I've got another mailbag that's going to tie in nicely to that, so hold that thought, right, on Canibus's debut album. We also had Deck versus Be Real by Kirk Simons. I thought that could be quite interesting, but I don't know how it would land. We had Sanko Fuwa. Oh, Sanko Fuwa, the rapper, of course, yeah. He said Corrupt, obviously, great. But then I thought the best one was this, right? So Peter Holm on YouTube, big up yourself, mate. Deck versus Jizza would be fire. And I thought, I'm here for that. And then Souls of Mischief dropped a brilliant image that I'd forgotten about, where it was Inspectah Deck, Jizza, and Ian Rush.
I've seen it. It's so weird.
It's such a weird photo. That should be the verses. Ian Rush in the middle, reffing, being the umpire. No idea what hip hop is, or does he? Maybe he's a massive hip hop.
What does an umpire do in that situation? Whoa! Don't play that. It's too
Make
good.
sure they stick to the limit. Make sure he knows whose turn it is.
Mate, Jizza would shit all over Inspectah Deck in a versus. Sorry.
Incorrect.
He would shit all over.
He has the bangers, but does he have the features? Does he have the features? The Inspectah Deck's features are pretty insane.
Yeah, can you do features in a versus?
Big time. In our verses, you can. Ask Ian Rush. So there we go. All right, just a few more to tie this up. Right, these are. I really enjoyed these as well. Right, meeting rappers. Meeting 90s rappers, meeting rappers generally. Always love those stories. We've got one here from Matt Moore. He said, I didn't actually get to meet him, right? But Freeway, I love Freeway. Don't know where you guys stand on Freeway. I really enjoy Freeway, right?
Yeah, he's all right in small doses. Irritating voice.
this.
Oh no, I enjoy his voice. He got some bangers, but
you wouldn't want to listen to a whole Freeway album, would you?
No, big time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In very high voice all the time. Like, I sounded like Borat, man. That didn't sound like Freeway at all.
Freeway meets Borat. Well, imagine mosh pitting with Freeway. That might change your mind, because Matt Moore was. I didn't get to meet Freeway, right? But Freeway was on the bill for Method Man and Redman, right, in a small club in upstate New York where I saw them, right. After his set, he went to the table to sell merch and sign autographs. Lovely, right? And he didn't see anyone go to it. So that's a bit sad, I thought. It was a little sad.
Yeah, that is sad, yeah.
Right? But after about 2 Meth and Red songs, Freeway worked his way through the crowd and started jumping with us and just basically getting rowdy with all of them. Didn't get to meet them, but pretty cool, I thought.
Freeway
I like getting in. Yeah.
Good lads.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Freeway. Yes, come on the pod.
Still don't want to listen to your album Freeway, but you seem like a good bloke.
Ignore
Come
that.
to a gig with
Come
us.
on the pod.
Yeah.
Right. Another one. This one's great because there's an image to go with it. This is from Novar Flip, right? Novar Flip said, and who was the other guy that said it was Snail Flip? So I don't know if they're related or what, but they were on there, and he said he and Novar met Corrupt at South Beach, right? And one of them was wearing a red T-shirt and kept calling him Blood, and he was not a happy Crip. And I feel that is a very dangerous situation. I'm feeling for you. But Novar Flip was wearing blue to balance things out, and in the image there with Corrupt and 2 girls, and yeah, it's true, he balances it out. But like
that
Eminem
picture,
says,
Corrupt looks taller than I always thought Corrupt was a very small man. He looked quite tall in that picture.
He does. We don't know the heights of these other guys. Can't relate. But yeah, I think
are you midgets? The people who Novar Flip, are you manlets? We need to know.
No.
Yeah, because the guy in the red T-shirt's quite tall.
Tall, yes.
Or maybe he's normal sized and blue T-shirts, like a manlet.
Exactly.
Who do you reckon's taking that picture? You know, if someone is like
Daz.
How do you...
It was Daz.
Yeah, exactly. Is it Daz? Because otherwise, it's like you having this moment of like you're speaking to Corrupt, and you're like, she doesn't know who you are. Can you take the picture, please? Oh, cool. Will you take the picture? Thanks. Yeah. This is this weird moment.
Yeah,
it's got to be Daz. Daz and Snoop, just like, yeah, cool. We'll take a picture.
Corrupt's throwing up the W. I like that.
Yeah, dub. Love that.
Haven't seen one of those in a while.
Strangest places you've got met rappers or just amazing like photos, videos, whatever. Send them over, man. Cray808@gmail.com or here's on Twitter or Instagram. 2 more I've got for you now, lads. 2 more. These are good, right? So this one, it's a great email, I have to say. So Tylan Delonge, or Tylan Delonge, I think it's Tylan Delonge, said basically he sent quite a few categories for us to jump into, right? Loves the pod. Big up yourself. Big up everyone who does. Thanks. He said favourite freestyles of the 90s. He had an idea with that. He loved like Canibus freestyle on Clue, stuff like that. And then he also had, he slept on bangers, by the way, for Wu-Tang banger, which is another category we have. If you have any slept on Wu bangers, we have a playlist, notes in the description. You can go find it on Spotify. And he said Bells of War. And do you know what? He might be right. I do love Bells of War. Right? Such a weird melancholy melody and a good Master Killer verse, he says. So there you go. But this is the one I wanted to pick to you guys, right?
Both me and Ray were like, sounds unlikely.
I'll let it go.
Come on, man.
I'll let it go.
Master Killer's got some bangers. This is good, right? What are your biggest disappointments of the 90s, right? So his example is Rampage from the Flip Mode Squad, right? He dropped Wild for the Night in 97. He was into that jam, but then he spent $13 on the album and it just wasn't good, right? I have a few, and I wondered what you two had. My 2 was Canibus' debut album. I think that was
that's what I was
saying. Such an easy one, that is, yeah.
It's such an easy one, isn't it? I know we just spoke about it, but yeah.
And the other one is another easy one, but I don't think I'd ever felt such a... I think it was the first time, because you guys know I love things a lot. The first time I felt let down by a musician was the Dogfather.
That's such a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember putting on the Dogfather, and the feeling, I still feel it now, every time I look at the album cover. Although I have revisited it, it's not that bad. I just remember at that time, all those years later, Pax left, Death Row, what you got, and it was just like, nothing. We haven't got anything for you.
Have you got any Dre beats for us? No Dre beats for you. Sorry, he's gone.
Although the beats were, but it just wasn't. You know, come on, man.
It was that feeling of like listening to it and then being like, Oh, well, that's over then. Okay. You know, just like, oh, well, just on to the next.
Do you guys have any others or any artists, disappointing artists or like any?
I honestly
else?
can't get Canibus out of my head now. Just like, it was Rip Rock on his first album.
Oh, yes. That's the last track. It's so bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just,
I think we need to do that album just for how many bad songs there are on it. It's so bad.
We're going to talk about it. We are. We definitely are.
Wait, it's not hip hop. It's Rip Rock.
It's Rip Rock.
What was he thinking?
It's a whole new genre, guys.
I know.
Here's a little taste of it.
One
but
track.
It did make 2000 BC better, I thought. I actually really enjoyed 2000 BC.
2000, yeah, that's his best album for sure.
Absolutely.
It's got 100 bars on it, hasn't it?
Yes, it does. And also one more here. This one's an interesting one because it actually came from Drink Champs. It came from Matt Moore. Thank you, Matt, for emailing in. But he said he was watching Drink Champs and Nori was on there and said they had to re-record the War Report. And what was it? Why was it again? Yeah. So he said that he had to re-record War Report, and who do you think would be a good replacement for Prodigy on LA if they wouldn't be allowed to sample his voice? So I couldn't really think of anyone really, except for I was like, I don't know, I think Big Pun might have gone by then, but if you'd sampled Big Pun's voice on LA somehow, that'd have been amazing. But I don't know how you'd have done that. But is there anyone else you'd have wanted instead of a Prodigy on LA? And I couldn't think of one. Children of the Corn, Big L.
Big L would be great. Actually, that's a serious. Yeah, I'll say seriously, Big L would be great.
Big L, maybe.
But Big L. The thing is, like,
I think he might not have been there by that time when LA came out.
But the thing is, there's not anyone that can fill Prodigy's shoes. Not to look.
That's too small.
Hold on. We've reached 100 episodes. And are you now telling me that Prodigy is good? I have been banging a Prodigy drum for 100 episodes, and you've been there to cut me down at every turn, my friend.
He likes
What are you saying now?
No, look, I don't like his verses. He talks so much fucking nonsense. But it's also, but every now and again, he spits something beautiful, like the first verse on Shook Ones. It's ridiculous. But
masterpiece.
Yeah, he's just basically the number of people that have sampled Prodigy, for the hooks and choruses and scratches, just like he's everywhere. It's all over everything. So you can't replace.
You know what could be a nice sidestep? Havoc.
Havoc was always all right.
I enjoyed Havoc. Yeah. Get P to write the rhyme. Loophole, Matt Moore. Found
you. Do you know who I think? If I was going to diss a whole coast and I was from New York, who I'd get on? Freddie Fox.
Yes, Bumpy fucking Knuckles.
Very scary man.
And he will beat you up, mate. I love Freddie Fox. Great shout. So anyone else who's got that, LA, who else you'd have on, crate808@gmail.com. We will have more mailbag. We've got tons. Sorry we couldn't get to yours right now, but we will get to them soon. But now, lads, 100 episodes, you'd play to an alien from the 1990s hip-hop. Let's go. Yo. Just interrupting this episode to give you a quick update on our plans for 2021. But before I do, just remember to subscribe on YouTube and like this video. Also, get involved in the comments. We always have some dope takes on there. So shout out to people that are getting involved. We love reading them. And hopefully some more of you guys can get on there and we'll shout you out on the episodes coming up. Now, on to 2021. We here at Crate 808 are setting up a Patreon where for the price of a pint or a coffee every month, we'll be bringing you even more dope hip-hop episodes. Simply go to crate808.com, subscribe to the newsletter, you'll get all the updates on our plans, but as a taster, each month we're thinking of bringing you 90s rap hidden gem album reviews that you can vote for. So if you enjoy people like Master Ace, Diamond D, The Lynch Mob, Paris, Big Noid, Blase, we'll be doing a lot more of those. We're going to do our Why I Love series, the MF Doom and J Dilla editions. Each month we'll bring on a guest and dig into why they love a certain Doom or JD track and then test that love. How deep is that love? So expect some nostalgia right there. Next up, Wu-Tang Chronicles Ghostface Killer Edition. We're aiming here, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but we're aiming to go through every solo Wu project and we're going to start with Ghostface catalogue. So we're going to go in, we're going to talk about the music, we're going to talk about the fashion sense and just some of the amazing bars he's dropped in that career. So you can expect that as well. And then for every patron who comes on, get your name on the credits, the Crate 808 credits, and in our Hall of Fame. So that'll be, I don't know how that's going to look right now, but we're going to give each of you a little bit of shine and a shout out on the show. And the Griselda Marathon, I want to do it. If we get enough patrons, we're going to do it. We're going to go through every single Griselda project and really let's dive in, yeah? So get involved. Hit up crate808.com, subscribe to the newsletter, as well as the YouTube and the podcast. Now, back to the episode. So, 100 rap songs you'd play to an alien if he was going to come down and explain 90s rap, right? By the way, this is going to be on Patreon, right? So we're going to do this now, and as we go, we're going to fill up this list. People will vote for songs, and we will basically argue it out which ones are going on and which ones aren't. But at the moment, we've got to fill it up. Raymond Ridge has done a list. There's 65 songs on here. We'll put that graphic up somewhere so you can see the songs, right? And we have to pick at these because Ray was basically doing them through our debates. So first off, on these songs that you've put on here, let's just go for the elephant in the room. We need to talk about this, Ray, right? We need to talk about...
let me, before you say it, let me just say, look, it was the first episode, one of the first episodes.
Caveat.
I was trying to get At the Speed of Life into Crate 808, and I used the Alien playlist to get
as a crutch. As a crutch.
Was that the first time you ever used it?
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I came up with
I think
so
Spark it was.
you're just a bit excited. Yeah.
It worked. I won.
Just a bit.
Did it really win? What was it up against?
No, it didn't win. It didn't win. Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth Coin.
Don't check.
For people who haven't
don't
checked
check, but it did win. It won. Don't check. Don't go back. No need to look at it.
Hell on Earth won that, and it should have done as well. Prodigy.
Yeah.
So that's where the Prodigy hate started. I remember this now. Right. So that was episode 4 as well. So episode 100, we're going to go into this. Xzibit's Speed of Life. You've got 65 tracks on here. I don't know percentage wise, but you've got 4 off of the Speed of Life, which doesn't seem a lot, but it is when you think you only have 100, right? So here you have At the Speed of Life, the title track, Paparazzi, Carry the Weight, and The Foundation.
Carry the Weight? Yeah. What is that doing on there?
Right, no, these are going to stay on the list.
At the time, now, it was carrying the weight of responsibility of the whole list. So it was appropriate.
I think Carry the Weight has to go. At the Speed of Life for me has to go. But then, honestly, listening back, I know Paparazzi is an absolute classic, and I understand it is a moment in time for a lot of people, including ourselves. That was the track. But I've also said, if you look back at them lyrics now, he did exactly what he said he wasn't going to do when he went to MTV. So it's almost very hypocritical as well. But
but he's also corrected that because he left MTV.
I know, but he still did it. He wanted the shine, all that. But that's fine. The track itself still stands. But do you know what? We talk about hidden gems. I fucking love The Foundation. It's one of my best dad rap songs.
I knew you were going to say that.
The Foundation is actually, for our 100 episode talk about, I actually think I remember my first ever Instagram post before we made 10,000 people on there. Our first Instagram post was The Foundation. So for that, I think there's an argument that might have to also go on the list because if you're going to an alien, but if you talk to an alien, then you're saying hip hop is all these things, but hip hop is also about family. It's also about dads. And Paparazzi tells you a story that a lot of other songs can tell you. But which songs tell you about dads? Good dads, good daddage. And I feel that's what The Foundation did, and it was great for that. So yes, that and Fahim are my dad tracks. Big up, Brother Ali. There's my first take. Jambo, do you have any takes on this list generally, mate, as we're going down?
There's just some weird ones in here. I just didn't... If I had to pick the 2 DMX tracks that I thought should go on here, or that Ray would think would go on here, it's all good.
Generic R&B. Yeah. What's an alien getting from this, mate?
Yeah.
That is just the soundtrack to uni. It is.
But Alien hasn't been to uni, has he? The Alien hasn't been to uni,
has
he?
Exactly. He gets a little flavour of it.
I need to know what this man from Perth, Australia's university...
Fuck all day.
Do you know what?
Obviously we weren't doing that at all in any way.
It was a dream. It was aspirational dream by 2 virgins.
Exactly.
Sitting in the corner of UEL. We weren't sitting in the corner, mate. We were in the stage, weren't we? We were taking the stage.
No,
but I was going to say, you can't
just not all day and all night. Just,
I think there's
occasionally some nights. Fuck occasionally. Some nights of the week.
We fuck sporadically.
When we can. When the opportunity arises. I have to say, I do think one thing though, little caveat for you, little in for you, is that it's questionable what you've done, but Dark and Hell is Hot probably does have more than one track that should go on this playlist.
Yeah,
I would maybe say
well.
Stop Being Greedy. Or, maybe intro, but Stop Being Greedy, maybe.
Get At Me Dog, Rough Riders Anthem. Anyone who says anything outside that is wrong.
But Get At Me Dog, yes, it gave you Dame Grease, but Stop Being Greedy gave you that turn in hip-hop where you had that Dame Grease, like, that sound, but you also had the message, which was like, your motherfucker's been around the world, Lisa Stansfield covers.
The message is from It Was Written. What are you talking about?
Good. That's not even on here, or is it? Probably.
It is on there. Come on, of course it's on there. What are you talking about?
One of the things I have to bring up here, though, right? So I'm glad you brought up It's All Good, because I thought that wasn't right.
There was a little Chris Mitchellism there.
You have 8 tracks. 8 from one album. And it's not Illmatic.
Yeah, from Doggy Style.
It's not 36 Chambers, it's Doggy Style, which I love. Yeah. Doggy Style's one of my favourite albums of all time. But we got to cut that, son. Because Alien's going to be skewed. It's almost got a 10% West Coast.
It's got to be. What's My Name? It's got to be What's My Name, isn't it?
What? So the alien knows who Snoop is? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So,
and it's also very, very. It's almost the most authentic G-Funk banger, I would say.
Yeah,
commercial
it's quintessential
banger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. G's and Hustlers. Doggy Dog World, Gin and Juice. It did lead to an uptake in
so
Gin and
many
Juice.
fucking tunes, isn't
the
it?
Shiznit. Actually, fuck me. I think if you want hardcore Death Row, what were Death Row? What did they like? What was their crystallization of what they made? The Shiznit might be it for me. That is that moment where Death Row were like, yeah, this is just us, and we don't. No one does this better than us.
But ain't no fun. I mean, how's Nate Dogg getting on there otherwise? I mean.
Yeah, we need some misogyny. We need some misogyny in this list if we're going to explain 90s hip-hop.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. We need it.
Needs it. It does.
It's one of the most misogynistic, awful songs made in the 90s. It has to go on there.
Not just that, it also leads on to how the misogyny gets institutionalized when Mariah Carey remixes it into a pop song. And now it's like, oh, anybody can sing this. It's fine. But it actually derives from, you're right.
When you break it down, like, it is weird that sex isn't any fun unless one of your homies can fuck the same girl you're. It's just a bit.
Yeah.
Well, you literally, I don't enjoy sex. This isn't enjoyable right now, unless I know.
The annoying thing is, it has all that in it.
Unless you know I'm also having to go, right?
But the rhythms, funk, and melody to that track are incredible, and it's just like Nate Dogg on that track is incredible, but it's what he's saying. It's like if you listen to the harmonies, they're brilliant. This is amazing, but then you listen
it makes
to what he's saying.
misogyny palatable. Yeah,
it's actually that's what they did. Essentially, that's what they did. But hip hop's done that all the way through, so we can't lay it all at Snoop and G-Funk's door, but it's definitely.
It's not talking about all women. It's just those women.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Now, can't that argument is But so there we go. I don't know if you have any other thing on this, because I have 5 I want to bring in. Jambo's got 5. But is there anything else you think on that 100 playlist that he's got here that definitely needs to be? Like,
I mean, the big pun tracks. I could probably, if I had to pick 100 hip hop tracks, Boomerang. Probably. I mean, it's fine, great. And You Ain't a Killer, great, fine. I just probably wouldn't put them on there. Twins and Beware, I'll go with.
I'll go those. Twins, Beware.
Yeah. And I think what we should have as the criteria for the list is, there's going to be, and I know you're going to bring a couple of tracks that I'm really going to fucking disagree with, but we'll get to that. The list should consist of the ones that we're all like, shook ones. Of course, we're all going to say yes for that.
For sure.
So,
for sure,
do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And then, like, Rough Riders Anthem, of course, everyone listening is like, it's obvious. Why are you even talking about it? Those tracks are the ones that really need to be represented. And then there's some that are like, almost that will kind of.
We're gonna formulate this, make it into an actual 100-song playlist as well, so people can listen to this. And we want all the users to get on board in the Patreon. So this will happen. But I had a few other notes. One was you had Slim Shady's LP Brain Damage, and I've just put Behave. I put Behave because I think Still Don't Give a Fuck. Just Don't Give a Fuck.
You're stupid. You're stupid if you say that.
Yeah, Brain Damage is good.
Brain Damage is good, but I don't know what is good. Like, you have other M songs that an alien's going to go, oh.
Yeah, but it's self-deprecation. Brain Damage is quite good in that it's like what reason Eminem was so successful was he didn't come and go and I'm the toughest guy. He came and go, I'm literally getting my head kicked in. And
it's also, it's the intro to M. It's the intro to M that we experience as well. Like, so I remember first hearing that on someone's cassette in my Red Rover that I had at the time. It was actually Red Rover, and it was 213 if anyone's interested. Anyway, so and then I remember listening to that. It had Brain Damage and it had Just Don't Give a Fuck. It was recorded, I don't know where from, but just a mate who's just peripherally into hip hop was like, "Oh, I've got this tape. Do you want to check it out?" I was like, "Sure," or whatever. Put it on, and I remember you had to pull over. But who is this? What's going on? I don't understand this.
The tracks where you have to pull over the car are the best tracks. Yeah, absolutely,
exactly. And Brain Damage was that for me.
That's it. Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. I have two more here. You've got House of Pain's Jump Around. I can see why.
That's fine.
But I do need to know if aliens know how to party, because otherwise this track might need a little bit.
Well, this is going to teach them how to party.
Maybe
literally.
it does.
Just jump around, mate.
Actually, yes. If you
they're going to be on their ship. They'll be sitting around listening to a lot of these tunes, and then all of a sudden the instruction will come on, and then they'll just be jumping.
Mate, they might not have legs.
Yeah, they might not have gravity.
They could just be gas.
They might not have gravity. Yeah. Oh, holy shit!
See?
Imagine that. Like, they don't have gravity, so what's jumping just does not make any sense at all.
The physics of it is awakening to them. I like this.
House of Pain, they were so ahead of their time.
Yeah, there you go. This one, it's so on the nose what you've done here, but also I would think of probably 3 or 4 other songs that the Beasties could have on here, and you've got Intergalactic, right? Yeah. And I don't think anyone. I think that's 2 on the nose. I think you've.
I don't know. I think Intergalactic's all right. I quite like it. I think it's
okay, but I never listen to it again. I don't think it's going to give you for an alien. If you want to know what the Beasties were about,
the bass line on that is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's good. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying there's other tracks.
That was one thing. I was one of those guys. So in my Red Rover, I had a fucking massive bass box. I had a ridiculous system set up in the back of it. And at the end of college, we used to get at the end of college, everyone's waiting for the bus outside. But I had a car, had mates in the car, and we'd be like, "What tune are we going to drive past?" And it was either going to be something from Doggy Style, and Intergalactic was one of those tunes where you want to time it right, so the bass is kicking in. You're like cruising by, it's fucking like a 1.3 litre Red Rover. It's stupid, but
I enjoyed
that.
This.
Was it. But that's it. It's also a window into the past for me, because it was takes me back to those days.
And that's what aliens need to know about.
But you're not an alien, are you? That's the thing. It's like it's different. Unless the alien is really interested in Ray, I'd love to know.
Exactly. Yeah, who knows?
Right. So we have 5 we're going to bring on here. We want to put onto this list. It's at 65 at the moment. Let's get up to 75, and then we'll start working our way through it. At some point, James, you've got 5 tracks, my friend.
Yep.
Just drop me a few. Drop me a few, and I'll.
Okay, so I've gone with along the lines of tracks that did something a bit different, sort of brought something new to hip hop, or will explain hip hop a little bit more to someone who doesn't know anything about it. And then I've got one which is just why it's not on there. I have no idea. It's just too good a track not to be on there. But I'm going to start off with, and it's a bit breaking the rules. It was recorded in the 90s, but because of this man's death, it didn't come out till 2000. Ebonics by Big Al.
Yeah. Language.
Because.
So I think
exactly. I thought you were having a go at someone for swearing. Language.
No, I was going to say. I think I would argue that the big picture should be. We should include that because it was recorded.
It is recorded in the 90s.
It is recorded. And I think all listeners would accept that as well. Something that's released later because of bureaucracy or politics or whatever is nonsense.
Yeah,
obviously, everyone knows.
Then we could do Canibus 2000.
Just gives us then we could do Southern Hospitality. Then we could do.
If it's recorded in the 90s, I'm on board.
So
and
basically, it's got to have come.
It's
got to have come out in early 2000s for it to be included.
But then do Supreme Clientele as well. Fucking hell,
but
this is
I agree with the big picture, but tracks off that. But Flamboyant is the track, not Ebonics, or both, or we could have both.
I think Ebonics more. Flamboyant is amazing, but I think Ebonics more, just because of the vernacular, and it was a singular talent to that point, and no one was touching him on that front.
Flamboyant is just like an album track. It's great, but whereas Ebonics
Flamboyant,
is doing
I literally listened to that today. I still listen to that.
It doesn't matter if you listen to it. It matters.
Well, the aliens to the aliens, doesn't it?
You need to give the argument for why the aliens should listen to Flamboyant over Ebonics, because Ebonics does have
they're just going to hear
this is actually our vernacular. That's a very
Ebonics is almost the first one you want to play to them to make them understand the rest of all the lyrics they're going to be hearing.
This is your index. and now you can know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good argument. Yeah.
Well
right.
done.
Start with this,
exactly.
and then we'll put flamboyant in towards the end.
Exactly. So I'll go for mine next then, and then you go for yours next one, James. I like that flamboyant. Good shout.
No, Ebonics. It was Ebonics, not flamboyant.
Sorry, Ebonics. Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm already slipping up. I've got Drop by Pharcyde.
Yeah.
For numerous reasons. Main thing is, I don't think sonically at that time you're not going to get anything near Dilla unless it's Pete Dilla. And I think this is Pete Dilla, which is also so spacey that the aliens are going to understand, oh, these guys have hallucinogenics. These guys, what are these mushrooms on the floor? If you're going to listen to a hip-hop track and you're going to take mushrooms, there's many out there, but I think Drop's got to be one of the main ones. The rhyming, the way they just talk about building missiles and all that shit, the way they're talking. The fact that the last 2.5 minutes of this track are just them being trippy as fuck, talking about being on a plane and landing and all this shit. It's just very trippy. And I feel like there's nothing else that gives you that Dilla and that weird West Coast
running
arty stuff. Running's amazing, but I think Drop it, and the thing that Drop's got above Running is that Drop, you could also show the aliens. Guess what else we had? We had music videos, and look at what we could do with these music videos. And their perception of time and dimension may be very different to ours. So they may look at it and go, wow, we do that. We go backwards as well.
Right, what I need is one of the listeners to go and get the scene from the film Arrival where she has the iPad and she's trying to communicate with the ink box, but it's Drop. She's just playing that.
Yes. Can someone make that for us, please? Yes. So Drop is my shout. James, have you got another one, my friend?
Should be Running.
So
we got both.
Okay, my next one is a song that is basically one of the best beats in hip hop, one of the best songs in hip hop, and a great song about your homies having died and you reminiscing over them. It's T.R.O.Y. It's T.R.O.Y.
That was on my list.
By Pete Rock and CL Smooth. So yeah,
I've added a few to the list since I showed you the one that I had ready, and there's a few that I was like, oh my god, why isn't this there? Wasn't this? And T.R.O.Y, of course.
T.R.O.Y's top. I remember when I was Indigo Muse, when we used to live in Indigo Muse in Poplar in East London.
No.
T.R.O.Y, James lived there as well.
Yeah, I did.
That was like mid-noughties, early noughties. And there were two tracks, Know the Ledge, which you already have on the list, good work, Rakim,
Boom.
And T.R.O.Y. And I used to insist they were top 3 songs of all time, like not even like better than Beatles, better than all that. And I was like, no, these 2 songs are incredible. So T.R.O.Y, for everything that Jambo said, I am 100% on board, and it should always be on this list, and sacrilege if it's not. So yes, T.R.O.Y, big time,
100%.
Yes, I've got another one here, and this is to show the aliens the art of sampling, and the art of sampling is at the heart of hip hop. Now, what are some of the best samples and use of sampling and ingenious ways of doing that? Now, when I think of sampling, there's lots of different producers, but my
heart a long intro to
and mind always go to Primo. They're always going to go near to Primo. And Primo's pinnacle apex for me is Mass Appeal. Mass Appeal for the sample, for the calm and wild, like a seashore fucking rhyming by Guru, the video, everything about it. That is quintessential New York hip hop, and this is how we use sampling. And it took someone 15 years to figure who this fucking was, and he snitched. He was a sample snitch at the end. There you go. So yeah, Mass Appeal. Mass Appeal was mine. I don't think you two are going to argue.
Agree.
These other 3 I've got probably not as much, but Jambo, what's your next one, my friend?
So my next one is it both sums up a period in hip hop which I'm really fond of, which is there's the puffy shiny suit era kind of thing that happened, but and there's like your top level MCs at the time like Big, J, Nas, those heavy hitters, but like a good production style came in, Swizz beats came in, everything was changing. Hip hop wasn't just about like dusty samples and stuff anymore. There was like a harder aesthetic was coming through as well, and there was a group of MCs, I include like Big Pun amongst them, who weren't like superstars but were just under that, who were just making bangers. The Locks were there. I'm going with Banned from TV.
Yes.
Banned from TV by Nori. It's got Big Pun, the Locks on there, but it's based off the sample of the music from 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is about meeting aliens. So I feel like it'd be a great one to include.
What an in. Yeah. There's the artwork, guys. 2001, just there for you. Mate, love that. Yes. That's a great in, and yeah, absolutely.
It's an absolute banger as well. It's one of the greatest, another greatest hip hop posse cuts of all time.
If aliens had necks, they'd break,
it's a good argument.
and it might change the way an alien walks. So or floats in a gaseous way. Either way, the next one I've got. Now, these,
is Nori getting in on any others?
Super Thug, possibly.
It's Neptunes.
Introduce the Neptunes. Yeah, it's
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's outside the 90s, though, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Super Thug's on the same album.
Super Thug's on that same album, actually. Yeah, it is. Okay, so the next ones, and I listened to these, by the way, on my walk before this recording, and for these 5 tracks I'd listened to changed the way I walk through. I had different walks for Pharcyde to Mass Appeal, and then I went to who's one of the best rappers of all time, and who's one of the best producers of all time, and what happened if they met, and this is the genius that happens. Now, these two have already made another track that's already on the list, and rightly so, I would say. But I think they're so good together, and we didn't get enough of them because one of them passed away. I'm going to go Unbelievable by Notorious B.I.G. because for me, Primo is peak Primo. At this point as well, Primo is showing that I've done my Wrath of the Math, my experimental shit on Sunrises in the East. I've done that. I've done my, jazz stuff. And now I'm going to incorporate and imprint myself on your work. And that's what a fucking baller does. When he can just go, Biggie, what have you got? Right, I'm going to imprint myself onto your work. And Biggie is going to do vice versa. And they make magic, which is a braggadocious, one of the most quotable rap songs in my lexicon. And also then the aliens will be like, oh, wow. So when they combine, it's something different to what Gangstar is and blah, blah. It's a very loose link to the alien, but I also think, fuck me, it's one of the best tracks of all time. So
I can't believe that was the first track you brought to this for Biggie that wasn't Kick in the Door. Kick in the Door isn't on this list yet.
I think Kick in the Door is on this list, isn't it? Is it not?
No, it's not on this list.
Machine Gun Funk, Everyday Struggle, Sky's the Limit, 10 Crack Commandments.
Oh, right. But we covered...
Kick in the Door is the first Biggie tune on this list, surely.
So we covered Life After Death on the pod. I thought Kick in the Door got on the list. Clearly not, but it should be. Absolutely, 100%. Kick in the Door should be on the list. In my mind, I thought it already was because we talked about it. But yes, absolutely, yeah. Primo, yeah, take that one off. Put Unbelievable off, Kick in the Door, and Unbelievable. All of them, both of them get on. And
those
and
obviously these 2 albums is just... There's too many tracks that you could argue all of them, couldn't you?
Yeah. So
not all of them. Actually, there's some absolute dog shit on my part. Anyway,
I'm a nasty boy though. So Jambo, what's your next one, my friend? 2 more left.
So I kind of wanted to bring something else about hip hop to this, and like diss tracks is something I want to bring. And I was thinking, maybe it should go on, but I was thinking, what's the ultimate one that's like it's hit 'em up, really, isn't it?
It is.
But I decided it's just too awful. Like, it's too horrible. Like, it created...
Don't they need to know that?
Essentially, yeah, I suppose. But instead, maybe it can go on. But I kind of wanted to bring the one that was a bit funnier and also a banger. Second Round Knockout, I'm bringing.
Okay, Canibus.
Right. It's his biggest song. It's his biggest ever song. It is a great diss. It also has a really weird moment where he talks about eating bum holes.
True. True.
I think it has to be on there because it sums up Canibus in that it's a banger and he shoots himself in the foot. Like,
maybe. Yeah.
The aliens need to be aware of Canibus. So we've already spoken to him, loads already on this episode. So not even in relation to this, he is,
and he loves aliens. He fucking loves aliens.
He does love aliens. He does. Okay, let's put it on. Absolutely, yeah. We're going to anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But okay. I think there's something there for that. Yeah. I wonder if it can live.
I think
without
there's
4, 3, 2, 1.
Look, we're talking about 65 things now. We're filling up spaces. There's going to be a point where we get to 100, and I think that might get argued out by better tunes. But we'll see when we reach that point.
I agree.
Okay. And then 2 more I've got here. Second to last, Excursions by T.R.O.Y. Low End Theory.
No.
I would say Excursions.
Back in the days when I was a teenager.
Mate, right? It's one of the best album openers of all time. So you can also give it the alien to be like, this is how you open an album, and this is jazz, hip hop personified.
Yeah.
But also the way he talks about generational experience of black music in the first verse with no beat except for the bass, and that is the core. You're listening to the lyrics and then the bass kicks in, and it's like, right, he took you on a time journey about what a hip-hop artist in the 90s was like and what they had to deal with their dads, and he's like, that's just like Bobby Brown is amping like Michael. It's like, oh yeah, that whole analogy is amazing. And Tip, and of course we have to have Tribe on here. I know Midnight Marauders is on there. I know there's a lot of other tracks, but for me, Excursions is that introductory track, is the track. So yeah, Excursions for me.
I like Electric Relaxation is
as well. I think that could be on there as well. Absolutely.
Well,
James?
my fifth one is Can I Kick It? Because how can you have 100 tracks played to an alien and not put Can I Kick It on there?
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's it. That's all I have to say for it. It's not, they've got no clever reason. It's just Can I Kick It? It's too good.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing with an alien for that is the fact that you can then tell the alien, Can I Kick It? Big up Rob Percy, who brought this point up on our Tribe episodes. He was saying, people would hear Can I Kick It, and they'd never hear another Tribe album. They'd hear that album and Can I Kick It, and then they just tuned out a rap. It was that commercially successful. And then you can just say to them, this is how big it became. This was a number one song, not just in hip hop, but in on the earth, if you know what I mean.
And with the aliens, it also opens up lines of communication, because you can say, can you kick it? Do you have feet?
It's a question.
Do you have feet? No,
can you kick it? There you go. Right, 2 Tribe got there. Good work.
So there's two others to add to that you don't. I'm surprised you didn't mention, but I spotted them as mistakes that needed to be added. I realise now that the listeners aren't aware that these ones weren't on there, but Simon Says isn't on there, is it? Simon Says wasn't there.
This is a list which is very
there.
It needs work. It's gone through our debates. Hence why I thought Life After Death stuff might be on here, but it's not.
So again, it's another one that's like, of course Simon Says is on there. Needs no explanation.
We'll fill it up.
Yeah, and also I would add to that, for the similar reasons for the place it has in in the clubs and the join-in ability or the recognizability, Sound of the Police as well. KRS-One. It's got to be on there as well.
100%. Absolutely. Everything about that. The commentary, the bangingness of it, everything about it. Absolutely. If we're doing like tracks that should just be on, by the way, there's loads, but I wanted to bring Deep Cover to this situation, but I didn't, because then we'd have an argument with Twinz as well. That should come on the Patreon.
Yeah, Deep Cover should go on over Twinz, shouldn't it? Really?
No. Dead in the middle of Little we know that we was in the middle.
That's true. Yeah, all right, okay.
Maybe both.
Fine.
But that wasn't my one.
That
wasn't my one. But inadvertently, we've added 2 more. Any way to fill this list up at the moment. But right, the one I had here, because we've had numerous arguments about it on the pod, and this is my way to get it in, and Ray can be like, fuck you, Ray. So this is my wifey track. This is my track. This is my love song in hip hop, my perfect love song, and it also shows how hip hop can address women in a nice way, and actually love be at the heart of it all. And on top of that, has the woo, and it has my R&B flex, and people know I love R&B flex on here. All I Need remix, Method Man and Mary J. Blige. It's a perfect love song.
I disagree.
Thousands of kids.
It's not a good beat. It's not even good lyrics. I disagree. I disagree.
Never been 100%. A fan. Never been a fan. Sorry.
I know. We've had this argument ongoing, and I'm sure this is going to be one for the Patreon where we're going to have to vote on this at some point.
But people can pay to correct your mistakes. What are you talking about?
It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake.
That's how a Patreon works. It gives them an opportunity. You just say a load of shit that's totally awful and ridiculous, and then they come on and correct it.
A bit like QU Hectic being the worst beat of 1995. Another one for the mailbag. What is the worst beat of 1995? It's not QU Hectic, as Ray randomly claimed one time. But It's funny because I was listening to this track again the other day and it made me giggle, this morning actually, when at the beginning it's like, brothers Starr, enough to make a hard rock smile. And I was like, not these two fuckers. Not these two, not James and Ray. It's not enough to make these two smile. They're fucking...
Not keen. Sorry.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Keen.
Like getting blood from a
Next.
stone. Right. And then, there we go. That's it. That was my 5. And they're the 5s we've got in. So there we go. We'll put this list up on our website somewhere or whatever, and Insta and all that. And then, we're going to go and fill these slots in as we go. But next up, we're just going to have a bit of fun. We're going to reminisce a bit about the podcast and the best bits of it. It's been 100 episodes, as we said. But also, we've got a little rumour roulette or rumour quiz, as we have them now. As people who know, we do these and bang, they're coming up. Boom. Right, so first of all, for the YouTube viewers, just massive commendation to Ray to fronting with this hat he's been wearing through the whole episode. He never took it off, he's just been wearing, and now he's had a change. Good work, I like it. But I was going to say, 100 episodes, lads. We've had some really memorable moments.
Like
I just want to hear some of yours. I just want to hear...
Oh, I didn't know we were doing this.
Episode. Just some of your favourite ones. If you don't have any, James, you don't listen to the podcast, that's absolutely fine, my friend.
I give a lot of my time to this podcast.
You do. You don't need to do
I have a lot of interests. And
you don't need
it's
to give
hard
any
to always keep up with the sheer deluge of content that you put out there.
I do put a lot out, 100 episodes in fact. So we have a few. I have a few here. I wanted to just big up all the guests who've been on. But my favourite, and I think a lot of people's favourite, was the West Side Gun cameo, which we've talked about. That was really nice. West Side Gun, bang, jumping on when we were talking to Boldy James. I also remember...
That moment was cool as well because he just seemed like a normal guy. I mean, normal in a West Side Gun world.
He was wearing red.
Wearing what he was wearing, but, he was
just blazing up a blunt and chilling out.
Yeah, just blazing up a blunt and just enjoying life. Kind of thing. But he was very much like, how you doing? How's life? How's things? Blah, blah. You're like, oh, fuck, I'm in the UK. You should come over.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I wasn't even supposed to record that. I wasn't even supposed to record that video. And I, for some reason, recorded video and we got him on video. It was amazing. So check out our Twitter. It's pinned at the top. It's pretty bad. But DJ Muggs as well was another one. I know a lot of people love the DJ Muggs episode we had. It was right early doors. But I remember when he was talking about Halloween and him going into one of them Halloween mazes, in Halloween haunted houses where people jump, like real life. And he was about to knock someone out. And I was like, imagine being knocked out by DJ Muggs because you were working in a haunted house on Halloween. You scared the shit out of him. Fucking brilliant. Love that. So that was another one of me.
And that was interesting how it set the tone for the whole episode as well, because you were like, oh, so what's your least hip hop thing? And he was literally talking about, obviously taking it, he wasn't in front of his children. Okay, he wasn't in front of them. He was on the podcast. But he was talking about going to the haunted house with his kids, and he was like, and we're fucking this, and we're fucking this. This is fucking scary fucking shit. It was like, oh shit. Moses, he's coming with it. Oh, fuck.
I love the fact at the end of the episode as well, by the way, he left. We didn't get to do a promo with him. I'm really upset about it. I was like, oh, gutted, because he was going to the gym. It's fucking great. I was like, imagine just your day is you're talking to someone in England and you're going to the gym in LA. Fucking great. Yeah, so big up Muggs, yes. Yeah. Any others from you guys before we move on to the rumour roulette? I know we've got...
Well, what are we talking about? We're talking about you spoke to Primo. It's like we've already peaked. We're done. It's done.
When that happened, I was like, oh shit. Cameron's going to be famous one day. I don't know.
The Primo chat is so surreal. That was, he was fucking great. I don't even, we only had 20 minutes with him because it was supposed to be an hour. We got 20 minutes in the end.
And he notoriously chats, he just fucking goes on.
He loves to talk. So. But as I've said before on the podcast, that was great. And I just wish I'd recorded our chat after when we were just waiting for a cab and we were talking about the Smiths, we were talking about Blondie, talking about his nephew waiting for a cab. And it was like, this is fucking weird. Like, I'm just talking to Primo, but what a lovely bloke. And also, I think people liked it on the pod where he was just talking about Mass Appeal, the sample, being Travis Scott's family and shit. And you're like, what? How does he know Travis Scott and all this shit?
What was annoying about that as well was that when I was so excited that you'd had him on and then trying to tell people who don't really know hip hop, he's had DJ Premier on, and they're like, don't know, and I'm like, who
are you?
He's so big in hip hop, but he's absolutely not famous outside of it.
Which is exactly it's the perfect amount as well, isn't it? Really, as well. Yeah. He's got it exactly right. So,
yeah.
But you know what I'm really looking forward to is the next time you speak to Primo. And then I hope you record the moment you have the chat where you're like, listen, Prim, you fucked up the promo last time. So just listen, get it right. It's got no S in it. Just say it. I'll write it out. I'll hold it up. You just read it. Just read it.
Do you know what it was? It was shookness. I was a shook one because I just thought, now I take another take. I take another 2 takes. But then I was like, the agent was there. He had somewhere to go. He was on a press run, and it was like, just get it done.
I can just imagine that interaction really when you're just like, he's got it wrong, and you're like. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But it was really endearing, mate. Now I listen back when them drops. I hope everyone's enjoying that drop. When I drop it into episodes now and again, and it's just great. Yeah. You know, that's how real DJs do. You heard? Yeah, fucking yeah. I have heard. Just I know we talk about all these guests, and I mean, there's stories as well that I've always enjoyed. And one I've always enjoyed was Andy Cohen. And that's one of my favourite episodes. If people ever read Hip Hop Connection, we got the editor on, and Andy Cohen was just talking about when Andy Cole, at his Newcastle days, went to see Wu-Tang and met Wu-Tang Clan. And I was like, God, that is such a weird world we lived in. Because then Andy Cole, I don't know if you've ever heard the Andy Cole. He's a famous striker for people who don't know in the 90s. And he played for Man United and won loads of... But he was amazing. And he loved Wu-Tang. And he dropped a track called Outstanding. I don't know if you've ever heard this track called Outstanding.
I have. It's awful.
It's fucking incredible. But it's amazing to think I'd have just gone full Wu if I was Andy Cole. Just gone, fuck it. Let's just get the machetes out. Let's get the swords out. Let's just do it. It'd been amazing, imagine. But so that's one of my favourite stories.
Also, everyone on this pod should know that Cam is always trying to get like crowbar in football into this podcast. In the early days especially, he wanted to do whole sections.
A lot of crowbarring.
Mixing hip hop into football.
Who is the Darren Anderton of 90s hip hop? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is though? Like, I keep thinking Sadat X, but I don't know why. Like, there's one for the mailbag. Who is the...
This podcast could have been very different if me and Ray hadn't shut that down real quick.
I know. Don't worry, I brought it back for the Patreon. It's already been recorded. Don't worry. And also, one of my favourite ones was Andrew Emery, and another Hip Hop Connection link. Big up Andrew Emery. He's been on a few times. He's such a good interview. Wicked guy. And his history with pirate radio. And I just love the idea in the UK. There was pirate radio, and we had Trevor Nelson on talking about it as well. That was amazing. And it's like, he had this guy who'd have a flat, and they'd go in, and his name was DJ David Batty, and he'd just soak in the bath in the flat, listening to prog rock like echoes from Pink Floyd, whilst they're doing the pirate radio in the other room. And he's like, I'm just going for a bath. It's like, what is this world you lived in, Andrew? So yeah, big up DJ David Batty as well. So I had to. It's 100th episode. I had to do it. I do it all the time. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else has any, but Slim Kid Trey talking about Pharcyde scrapping, Pharoahe Monch. God, we're not talking about Pharoahe Monch, and we do every episode.
Yeah, Pharoahe being on there. Evidence. I thought the evidence episode was really interesting because just how he comes across is very much like, I'm just going to be me, and he's not. You don't feel like he's necessarily engaged with you. He's just like no. He's like he speaks with you at arm's length. He's like no. I'll tell you this, and you. But then he kind of, I don't know. He kind of he had that your least hip hop thing, and he's like, I fed a squirrel.
Yeah. What? But he's got a whole thing with squirrels. He's got a whole thing.
He's got a family of squirrels, but he said it not as a joke, like, oh, I can't believe it. I've got squirrels. It was just very much like, yeah, I've got squirrels. They're in my garden. I feed them.
I love that. What? It's a squirrel beat tapes, man. He's got squirrel beat tapes and everything. Love this guy. Great. Hopefully we get him back on at some point. But yeah, no, I thought that. Black Thought, obviously, being scared of me.
Of course,
Jambo bringing up the fact that
watching Black Thought's reaction, watching his reaction to your intro as well was like, because he was just eating food and he was like, oh shit, he knows. Right? There's that moment of.
I love that. That was so good.
That was enjoyable. I don't want to keep sucking our own dicks here. Let's move on maybe. But it is nice to maybe suck one's own dick now and again.
There's some other bits that were good as well. That was hang on a sec. Let me just.
Can we shout out J.R.O.B, by the way? Can we? I know it's 100 episodes. We got to shout out J.R.O.B. That's one of my favourite episodes. He was real talk, man. J.R.O.B, part of Tribe Called Quest. That's mad that he was even on. But the fact that he was talking about I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to do something else. You were in Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. So yeah, but didn't want it. That's some real shit for you right there. That's real. Yeah, I love that.
Guys, I've just emailed you something.
Hello. for the 100th episode.
Yeah, so just emailed you something.
Let's hope it's crate808@gmail.com he's emailed it to.
You've both got it.
While they're both talking about private emails that I'm not included in. Oh, okay. Oh, I am included. Yay!
Yes. How have you've genuinely not cared about this episode that you've managed? He's managed somehow. If people are listening, we're going to put this up everywhere. But you've done the arrival sequence with the drop video.
That's the cover of the podcast, right?
That's the cover of the podcast. That's the cover.
100 tracks of play to an alien.
Yes.
How can you say I don't care about this episode?
No, you do. You care too much. You care too much, in fact. I've already downloaded that. I will be posting it, and we should just use that meme constantly. There we go. For the YouTube viewers. There it is. Great. Fucking great. That's why he does Photoshop for a living. He colours in and everything. Does Photoshop inquiries. Call James. Don't call James.
That was a really quick bodged one while you were talking about
better than anything I can do. Better than anything I can do. So yes, there you go. 100. I don't know if anyone else got any, but we can move on.
Yeah,
to this.
there was. I mean, there were some other bits that were not so obvious. So there was also the fact that it took 98 episodes for you to remember to put the branding on the fucking thumbnails on YouTube. Nice one, yeah. Trying to build a brand here, Ray. And you just put it out.
What was this? Thumbnails. Explain to me what you mean.
Just basically, go on, Ray.
Go on, no, you explain your mistake. You explain it.
No, just slipping up. Just slip up. There's a lot to do. With the podcast show. And the thumbnails aren't the best thumbnails to begin with.
I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, just if you look at the thumbnails of every video, of every YouTube video, it doesn't have any of our branding on it. But we're saying it now in this episode. All of those episodes of a great 808. So remember that.
Branding is
there
everything.
You go. I fixed it. I fixed it for you, Cam. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
It's sorted. Everyone's going to remember that.
Thank you for that. Also, big up Luke James and us discussing that rapper called Wayniac. That's still one of my funniest moments.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
there's a rapper called Wayniac. This guy's not a maniac. He's a Wayniac.
The Twinz are. It's a good album.
Yeah, we should talk on that. Hidden Gems coming up.
That's
on the
a hidden
Patreon.
gem for sure. I definitely did that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Stretch and Babito. We had Stretch and fucking Babito on. Think about that. Jesus. But yeah, there you go. Oh, and you know what? Rest in peace, Ty, as well, because that was pretty amazing that we got Ty on and he got to talk, and it was fucking unbelievable that he passed, and just amazing that we were privileged enough to have him on. So and rest in peace, man.
Obviously the MF Doom episodes as well, which were Chi Modu as well,
and Chi fucking Modu heard that story.
That's well said.
Gutted, and he was. You know what? Big up all them people who gave us a break. Andy Cohen's, DJ Muggs, Mayhem Loren, and Chi Modu. I remember that was really hard to get hold of him. We did, and it was such a good fucking.
Mayhem Loren was such a nice bloke as well.
He was. I'm here for Hell on Earth episode.
Good lad.
But yes, there you go. Bing bang bosh. Crate808.com to check out all the episodes. No, we're going to do the rumour roulette. We've got to do the rumour roulette. So the rumour roulette. Go on.
There is one. I mean, no, it's just one other thing that, it's kind of from behind the scenes, but
go on.
Maybe it's not really important now. I realise we've kind of finished that section with a really good point. But so obviously I've put together the videos and sort out the tags for people. Mm-hmm. And just one little thing behind the scenes is like, when someone's going, you can, I sort out the tags in the corner of the videos. So I'm trying to think of an example, but Black Thought doesn't have it. He has at Black Thought. But imagine it was at Black_Thought. Like there's a little moment of sadness. There's a lot of people. Maybe I rip it out of there now, but people like they've got their name and then they're not able to get the thing, so it's the real Black Thought or the Black Thought 107.
Thought.
There's a few people who've got underscores in their name, and just that idea of people saying like not saying Black Thought, they're saying Black underscore Thought.
I don't think it matters too much nowadays, but I do understand.
Matters to me.
Hence, Crate_808 Instagram. That was a nightmare. There's another Crate808. Who the fuck is Crate808? What? There is another Crate808.
And they've got nothing, neither have they?
Yeah, that's the worry. That's the worrying thing, is that they don't even post anything. Just like us in a few years.
Buy it off them already. You're making bank from this, aren't you?
Patreon. Sign up. So first thing we do is sign up. Do you get that? Right. So, James, we do this rumour roulette thing. Used to be, and it was where I would gather some unsubstantiated rumours, spin the roulette, and we'd find out which ones we can talk about and riff off. Now it's a quiz. Now
Yeah,
James made a
I've
quiz.
morphed
James.
it into so it's totally different. Occasionally it's a rumour roulette style quiz, but
Okay.
this week you've got two options to pick from. You can either pick from the hip hop version of Would I Lie to You, or a new quiz that I've come up with called Bring Your Whole Crew, based off the DMX track.
Okay.
So which one do you want to do? Bring Your
Can
Whole
we do
Crew.
both?
You can do both if you want to do. If you've got
I'd
time.
love to do both. I'd
got
love to do both. Let's start with Would I Lie to You rip-off.
Okay. Rip-offs.
Would I lie to you?
Would I Lie to You?
Okay, so basically.
Sorry. It's a UK TV show, isn't it?
It is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was immediately thinking of the song. When we're going to look into your eyes, can I see the red and white?
Would I lie
What?
to you? Although that could be the sting for this section.
Yes.
Charles and Eddie riff. Brilliant.
Get Patreon listeners, come up with that now. So basically, you've got to pick. I've got 4 things, and you need to pick which of these isn't a fact. And the theme of this week's one is Dame Dash. I've been reading a lot of Dame Dash interviews and researching Dame Dash as a ridiculous character in hip hop.
Love him.
So you need to tell me which of these isn't a fact.
Okay.
They're all true, aren't they? They're all
Fact 1. As a precocious child, Damon Dash paid for himself to go to a Connecticut boarding school. There, he was a lacrosse star and took classes in business, Spanish, and pottery.
Pottery? That might
That's fact 1. That's fact 1.
Might be your undoing there.
Okay. Fact 2. Dame Dash's first time smoking weed was on the set of Big Pimpin'. Pimp C offered him a joint, which in Dame's words, tasted like elderflower and made me feel a bit sick. In 2017, he created his own line of luxury weed products, and the signature blend, BP99, was based on that first Pimp C joint.
Wow. That could be true.
That's fact 2.
Well, that's a lot of detail.
Fact 3. Dame Dash was saved from drowning when he was 10 by Phil Collins. His family took him and his childhood friend and future hip-hop fashion mogul, Mark Echo, on holiday to Montauk as children, and he got in trouble while swimming. Luckily, Phil, who owned a home in the area, was swimming nearby and helped rescue the future Rockefeller Records CEO. Dame was later able to help clear a sample for DMX because of his relationship with Phil.
No.
Imagine that is the clearance meeting. I want more than anything. I want that to be true. I want it to be true more than anything. But
it can't be. It can't be.
It can't be. I think.
You got 4. You got to go for. There's a last one. Okay?
Oh, there's one more. Oh, sorry.
There's one more.
There's 3. Go on.
Fact 4. Dame Dash never wears the same pair of socks twice. He claims the slight grey-brown on the bottoms of a pair after a day of wear makes him feel poor. He saves all his used socks and donates them to a New York children's charity. That way, somebody gets to own basically new stuff, and I get to be fly. That's a quote. That's a direct quote.
But is it?
First of all, you've put so much effort into the lies.
You say that I don't put any effort into this podcast. I put so much effort.
You should be on the bankroll. You should be on the payroll for this shit. This is amazing. Okay.
Cheers.
Write some stuff like that, Ray. Write some stuff like that. I'm there with you.
This podcast, though, that's... Hold on. People are getting paid here.
I fucking hope so.
No, it's costing us fucking money.
Yeah, it's costing us money. I'm going to say...
Okay, so which one?
The weed is the truth. The weed is the truth.
There's 3 of them are the truth.
No, so the one that's the lie is the last one, because the first 3 paint a picture of Dame Dash being a really nice guy, and I want to believe it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the one with him being a dick at the end, I know he gave.
He's not being a dick. He's going to say
no. Makes you feel poor. No, I don't believe it.
Okay, no, I'll tell you what it is. I think it's the Phil Collins. I think Phil Collins is the lie. It has to be.
No, I want that to be true. It's not that.
Okay.
It's the last one.
Right. Which one is it?
Okay, so which one are you going for?
I'm going for Phil Collins. He's going for socks.
You got to go for one together. You got to pick.
Why?
That's how it works. You're a team.
It's a competition.
You're against me. Because remember last time you got it wrong, so it's 1-0 to me.
Oh, I thought it was between me and Ray.
You genuinely believed that Lil Fame had an alpaca farm and he supplied material to House of Fraser. You believed that?
No, I didn't.
Wait, we can't keep a 3-way score? I don't
No,
want
you
to
can't. No, there's no three.
Okay,
You've got to
Ray,
come up with this two.
I'll deter to Ray. Go on, socks.
Socks. It's 100% socks.
Socks.
You don't. You think that's one's the lie?
Yeah.
That
the lie.
one's true, and that quote is an actual true
then.
fact.
Told you, mate. It's
the lie is the Phil Collins.
I was going to say, why is Ray thinking Phil Collins? We would have heard this story. We both love Phil Collins.
It's because I added the Dame Dash DMX Phil Collins.
Yeah, that's the thing that gave it away, of course.
Yeah.
Not the fact that he would say Phil Collins. Come on, mate. So yes, in a way you win, but in a way Ray loses. Ray loses.
2-0 to James. Okay.
The ultimate loser is Ray. So 2-0, but ultimately, it's Ray.
Did you want to do Bring Your Whole Crew? My new.
I would love to hear Bring Your Whole Crew. Let's go.
I like hangers-on crews in hip hop. You know, you bring your D12s, people like that. You bring them along. Your Saint Lunatics, stuff like that. I like those kind of things.
Outlaw Immortals.
No one knows who's actually in them a lot of the time, and that's why I'm bringing this week. We're going to work out. I'm going to give you the names of the crew, and you're going to tell me which ones aren't in the crew. And I'll tell you how. You've just got to decide which ones aren't in the crew. You've got to pick them out. I'm not going to tell you how many there are. The crew we're bringing is Theodore Unit.
Brilliant!
Week.
Come on. Yes.
Okay, so in Theodore Unit, these are the members. You've got to tell me which ones. So maybe you need a pen on you to write these down.
Okay.
Okay, here are the names of Theodore Unit's whole crew. Sean Wiggs. Trife de God. Tommy Whispers. Bang'em Smurf.
Yeah.
Marginal Threat.
What was the first one? What's the first one?
First one was Sean
What's
Wiggs.
what's your rap name?
Sean
Marginal
what?
Threat. Marginal Threat.
Sean Diggs.
I'll start again. Sean Wiggs.
Wiggs, right.
Wiggs.
Amazing.
Trife de God. Tommy Whispers. Bang'em Smurf. Marginal Threat.
Right.
Crime Life with a K. Do Lils with a hyphen in the middle. Do Lils. Leslie Snipes.
It's true. Yeah, Leslie Snipes, yeah.
Sun God.
That's a lot in fucking Theodore Unit.
Capadonna.
Yeah.
And Twiz, which is an acronym with TWIZ. Twiz.
Wow. Okay, Theodore Unit, bring your whole crew. One of these is wrong, did you say?
No, I'm not going to tell you how many are wrong in there. You've got to pick out the ones who aren't in Theodore Unit.
Okay, so let me pick out
Actually,
the
I'm
ones...
going to tell you. There's three who aren't in Theodore Unit.
Okay, so let's...
And where have those names come from?
Theodore Unit. They're the members of Theodore Unit.
No, but where the non-names, where have they come from?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Right, so I think one that definitely is...
So have they come from your imagination or are they real people?
I'm not going to tell you that.
He's just made them up. Name generator. He's gone to the name generators. I'm going to say people who are in, let's cancel them out, right? Trife to God. Trife to God is in. Right?
Oh, do you want my... I can't... No, you got to decide and then I'm going to tell you if you're right at the end.
Okay.
We'll say the three that we think are out.
Okay.
So marginal threat.
I think marginal threat might be real. I think marginal threat might be real.
Be real?
No, I think marginal threat might be real, Ray. I think Leslie Snipes is one that might not be. But then I have heard that name somewhere. I don't know why. But this is what I'm trying to say. Right, so I think Tommy Whispers is in, Trife to God is in, Sean Wiggs is in, Sundog is in, Twiz is in. I would say Smurf, Doolills, and then is it Leslie Snipes or not?
I want Leslie Snipes to be in because that's actually it's a cool name.
Let's do them three. Leslie Snipes, Smurf, and Doolills.
They're the ones that you don't think are right. No. Bang'em Smurf is a G Unit affiliate.
Oh, right. So he's not in. Okay.
So he's not in, no. Marginal Threat. I just made that up. I can't believe you just had to.
I thought there was someone called Marginal Threat.
I said marginal threat.
Marginal Threat. Marginal Threat. What a great name. What a great name.
The fact that got by is, I'm really happy. This is really I've pulled this off. And of course, Leslie Snipes.
Leslie Snipes is not one. Leslie Snipes can't be one. Yeah.
But I just thought, as a
why have we heard Leslie Snipes somewhere? Why have I heard that somewhere?
The guy. Just imagine him being like, Leslie Snipes, like Wesley, but Leslie's a girl's name. Yeah,
I more thought of Leslie Snipes as every group's got a female member just to cash in on that. So I just came up with a really
Leslie
crap
Snipes.
Female.
Maybe there is a rap. That's a great name for a rapper. Why isn't that a rapper's name though? It should be a name.
I think there's guys. Leslie's a guy's name as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ryan
it
Leslie.
is, yeah.
Ryan Leslie Snipes. Brilliant. Wicked. I'm really enjoying these. I think these are going to become little sections now going ahead on the Patreon, which I keep banging on about. Pay for it, guys.
But I mean, just to get to the point, like Leslie as a if you're even as a female rapper, to go with Leslie. Leslie.
I think Leslie's fine, though, isn't it? I think Leslie's fine. I don't know.
Maybe on the Patreon, we should make this into a thing on Patreon where we get everyone on a live chat, all of the listeners, and then they all go on there like a pub quiz.
Imagine if Leslie Snipes gets in touch.
Maybe there is a rapper called
Maybe
Leslie
there is a
Snipes.
Leslie Snipes. You don't know. You do not know. Brilliant. Thank you guys for that. That is amazing, Jambo. Well done.
Here's to you,
Cheers.
Leslie.
Here's to 100 episodes more. Yes, big up. We're going to catch you guys on the flip side. Crate808.com. Subscribe, like, tell everyone, buy some merch, support the pod. And yeah, much love. Here's to the next 100, man. Big up.
100. Oh, fucking hell.
He almost shot it in his own face by the looks of it.
Oh, no. Do you remember the 100th episode of that podcast where the guy shot himself in the face? Yeah, I do. It was great. Right.
That's a whole different type of podcast.
It really is. It really is. Right. Marginal Threat and everyone else, we're out. Peace.